When someone passes, where do they go? Gone forever, or can they show? What if you could find someone between to bridge the gap of those?
I'm Michele Livingston, and I've been a spiritual medium for the last 30 years, appearing on Fox News, New York.
Hello, everybody. I'm Greg Jarrett. Welcome back to Breaking News. It's going to be a really interesting guest for the hour. Michele Livingston is a visionary counselor.
On stage with medium James Von Prague.
Did anybody smoke, Richard?
Yes.
I smell tremendous smoke even up here. Was that your father that smoked?
My father and my mom.
On ABC
There's
News.
Air, oxygen everywhere. You can't see it, but it's here. Same thing with the spirit realms. So even though it's in a beautiful invisible realm, I have the capacity to tap into it and actually see them. He says, thanks for the balloons. I have no idea what that means. God. Do you have your mother's ashes with you?
My brother and I had necklaces made with her ashes in them, and I just took it off the chain tonight and put it in my pocket because I was curious if it would come up, and it did.
From the east in Harrisburg, PA, to the west in Hollywood, CA, I'm the People's Medium.
All right, Michele, how you doing?
Hi, Tony. Good to talk to you again.
I know.
It's been a couple weeks.
And I missed you lots.
I miss you lots too, sweetheart. So, well, welcome to the show. I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening. I wanted to go over a couple things before we get started because things have shifted, and I've been on here for about 3 years off and on, this program. It is now on my friend page, Watch Party. It is on my fan page, which is Michele Livingston, the People's Medium. But Tony Sweet, my wonderful co-host, is in California, and he's in Burbank. And his company is United Broadcast Network. So there's different ways to watch this. There's different ways to interact with other people throughout the country. And actually in Canada and Australia, people are watching from all over the place. So this is what you do. You can go on my fan page. You can leave comments, and I'll get back to all of you after the show because I don't see the comments during the show. You can also go to UBN Go. That stands for United Broadcast Network Go. And when you watch on the internet with UBN Go, when you go in there, if you want to, there's a button on the lower right for chat room. And if you want to talk to people throughout the country, you can do that or wherever they're located. It's 7 o'clock here, Eastern time. It's 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you write to me and say, what time is it in Australia? I have no idea. You're going to have to Google it, which happened this week. But anyhow, so the watch party just started. I hope you're on my friend page watching as well. When you call in, there's a call-in number on the screen right now. And Tony out in California looks at the different area codes, and he just picks people randomly. Many times I'll tell him to go in 717 because that's our closer area code to where I am. But that is what's going on. This is live streamed from the west to here in the east. So thank you so much for watching tonight. If you do call, I hope you get through because I'd love to talk to you. I really would. We have some wonderful, wonderful callers. Today's program, wherever you're watching from, is about mediums. So what are mediums? Well, mediums are conduits that bridge the gap between the third dimensional earth plane, which we're on now in the physical world, to the heavenly realms of the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is a higher and faster frequency. So souls that come through have to store energy. We also call them light bodies. They store energy, they lower down frequency, and individually, everyone's different, but speaking for myself, my soul goes up slightly as your loved ones from heaven come down to say hello to you. So I also want to say all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. So a psychic is able to read the auric field of the individual, which is the energy around a person. That contains what you had for breakfast yesterday morning. It contains your thought forms, your experiences. So psychics are able to tap into, and what they do is perceive what's around you, whereas mediums receive information from the higher frequencies, the higher, faster frequencies. First of all, we have the spiritual medium. That's what I am. We talked about, if you watched 2 weeks ago, I'm on every other week, every other Wednesday right now. We talked about the clairs and what they represent. So I'm going to go over them just briefly in case you missed the Valentine show. We had a good time last time. Clairvoyance represents clear seeing. I'm an artist. I've been painting all of my life, so the artist within me helps me to see the spirit realms. When a soul comes through, I see them in a translucent way. I see them head to toe, but of course they're not in the physical world. They're energy, and you can never destroy energy. So they project the way they want to project. If they had a lot of pride, they don't want to look old. They want to look younger. If they want you to remember them as they were before they passed away, they will project that way as you remember them. They could be in a walker or whatever, but they retain their mind, the human soul. Human souls retain a consciousness, a personality, a memory bank. And so when they come through, the personality shines loud and clear for me. So clairvoyance is clear seeing. My great-grandmother here in central Pennsylvania was a clairvoyant, and my mother, Dorothy, received her info from precognition dreams. She would dream of something, and a day or two later it would happen. Clairaudience means clear hearing. You're driving along, you hear a voice. You think it's your dad who's in heaven. He might say, slow down. Well, it could be inside your mind or it could be externally. If you hear a voice and you're not sure if it's male or if it's female, it's probably an angel. If you can't make the distinction between male and female. Angels are sexless, they are androgynous, but they can take on human form in times of need, and angels do talk to us. Now remember, they're working telepathically through thought transference from either their angel mind or their soul mind to our conscious mind as spiritual mediums. So we have the seeing and we have the hearing, and then we have the feeling. And the feeling is called clairsentience or clairsentience, some people pronounce it. It's the ability to feel the spirit that is speaking through you to the person. So many times, for example, if they have a circulatory condition, fleetingly they'll make me feel edema or poor circulation. Or if they passed away of a heart or respiratory condition, they fleetingly might let me feel the heaviness on the chest. And that's just as they link in. Now, of course, in heaven, which is beautiful, trust me, believe me, it is a beautiful place to be. And anybody that's had a near-death experience has gone to the light and really doesn't want to come back. It's so beautiful. But for all of us here on earth, we need to make the best of it. And hopefully you're doing that right now in your life. I believe in the power of prayer. I do pray for all those that write me on either fan page or friend page. There's a lot of things going on in this world right now, and we all need a good, kick up a little bit. We need laughter, and there's nothing like laughter to release endorphins and good friends to surround yourself with so that you don't feel so alone in this world. And it can be a lonely place to be, especially when loved ones are passed on. So my heart goes out to you. I've lost everybody I've ever known, basically. I have some friends left on earth and my wonderful husband. But when your pets pass, when your good friends, when your grandparents and your parents and so on, cousins, when your world dwindles down, there are many times that you look for comfort. And that's hopefully what good mediums do. They bring you comfort, they bring you closure. There's something else called claircognizance. And that basically is clear knowing or clear thinking. So that means you might be doing something in neutral, like you're in the shower and all of a sudden a flash of information comes into your mind. That happens to me a lot. And it could be future information about an event that may happen. Some people are really intuitive. Intuition means inner knowing, and they go within and they get vibes about things and so on. So claircognizance, which we did not cover a couple weeks ago, means that in a flash, you'll get an idea or you'll see something and it's for future. Now, this is the rarest. This is really, really unusual. And it's called clairgustance. It's CLAIRGUSTANCE. And believe it or not, it represents clear tasting. So your loved ones in heaven can actually create for you different tastes. If your grandfather loved coffee and you don't drink coffee, but all of a sudden you know the smell and you kind of know the taste of it and you get the taste of it, that might be his way of linking in. So remember, every soul is individual and unique. Some want to come in dreams, some want to appear, some want to talk to you, some want to wrap their arms around you and give you a big old hug, which is perfect. And some want you to taste the smoke, the cigarettes, the chicken pot pie that your grandmother made. Now I'm getting hungry, Tony. Now I'm getting hungry.
Don't start, because I'll get hungry too.
Was your mother a good cook, Tony?
Oh yeah, my mom, my grandma, my sister, amazing cooks.
What was your favorite meal?
Well,
do you remember?
One of my favorite meals that my mother used to cook, and I know it sounds kind of gross to some people, but it used to be, I know, sorry, people that are vegan, but deer heart and dumplings.
Deer heart dumplings.
It was so good. Yes. Sorry.
Were there veggies in there, or how did she do that?
But it was, and the noodles were from her great grandmother. She was Bohemian, so the Bohemian noodles from overseas. So it was the original recipe, and they were so good.
Oh, that sounds delish.
But I haven't had it. Does. I probably haven't had it in 20 years, just because.
Well, now if you start to taste it, it might be your mother.
Now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah, you can taste it. No. Isn't that something? So that's called clairgustance. And in central Pennsylvania, we have the Dutchies, we have the German, we have chicken pot pie, we have chicken and waffles, we have all the good old fattening stuff because it's Pennsylvania Dutch. Chicken corn soup, but we're getting off.
No. I know.
Anyhow, getting back to all this, the second form of mediumship is called healing mediumship. And it has to do with bringing the divine light, the energy of the spirit realms through you and out to other people. So whether it is laying on of hands, and that's a term for it, or whether it's Reiki. Reiki is a form of taking that universal love and healing of the divine light, pulling it through you, and putting it out to someone or to a pet or even to yourself. You can actually bring healing light and love back to yourself. So Reiki is wonderful. I have good friends that are Reiki masters, and they do wonderful, wonderful work. So I just want to say that's called healing mediumship. Then we have channeling mediumship. I just think this is really interesting to cover the different ways that mediums work. So channeling mediumship means that the medium works with one specific spirit guide or a group of guides. I think Seth, years ago, if you ever read those books, I think that was one, she was channeling, Jane Roberts, I think that was her name. She was channeling one spirit named Seth. And, or again, a group of spirits can come through. Where channeling mediums are not channeling your grandfather, your mother, your husband. They are basically channeling one spirit that helps them with information. And there's a very famous person. His name was Edgar Cayce. And he lived from 1877 to about 1945. Was called the Sleeping Prophet. My very dear friend, God bless you, Robert Grant, up there in heaven. I was going to have him on my show about a year ago and found out that he had passed away. So I hope he's looking down with love and fond memories tonight. because we worked together. We were on stage together, and I started at the Association of Research and Enlightenment, actually, down there in Virginia Beach. I was called down there, and Rob and I would get on stage. But Robert Grant, and he has many books, was responsible for taking 14,000, think of this, of Edgar Cayce's readings and transcribing them or transforming them into CD-ROM. So he was one of the leading experts in the world, Robert Grant, on the Edgar Cayce readings. And he knew Hugh Lynn Cayce, and he had stories of the family. But I love you, Rob, wherever thou may be up there in heaven. But anyhow, Cayce was so unusual. He talked to his grandfather as a child and saw him, and many children from birth to 5 years old approximately can see spirits. So encourage your children or your grandchildren to tell you what they're experiencing. But the other unusual thing about Cayce is if he would fall asleep on a book like this, whatever, he'd wake up and have all the information in the book memorized in his mind. And that's how he studied. Isn't that wild, Tony? Can you imagine that?
Oh my God, I wish.
Talk about getting through school easily. Put your book on your pillow in the morning. You have all the info in your mind. That's just, he was something else, Edgar Cayce. But he would go into a sleep-like trance, and he would self-hypnotize. You've heard of it? Haven't you had some guests on from the ARE? I think over the years, you said,
yeah,
Tony.
Actually, I had the president of Edgar Cayce's Institute.
Yeah. Research and Enlightenment down there in Virginia Beach. It's a beautiful area. They have a library. But he was a very, very unique individual. He was a devoted Christian, and he was a Sunday school teacher, Edgar Cayce. And he vowed to himself to read the Bible, this is true, from front to back once every year. And so every year that he was alive, he'd read the Bible, the whole Bible, once a year. He was something else. So if you ever get down to Virginia Beach, visit the ARE. I think you'll enjoy it. You can look up some of his readings. Fantastic. He dealt a lot with past lives, and he dealt with health-related issues. He was amazing. People would come to him or write to him with health issues. He did get in again to reincarnation, dreams, and interpreting dreams and what they meant for people. He was into extrasensory perception, ESP, a lot of psychic phenomena. He was really a very spiritual person. And people would ask him, how, do I become more psychic? And his answer would be, just become more spiritual. And so what a wonderful person to follow. I'm not quite sure if he's out there, the books, as much as they used to be, but my mother was an advocate of Edgar Cayce. So I just wanted to mention him because he did his work in a different way. It's a whole different perception. Spontaneous or automatic writing is another way that mediums can work. And in my book, Living in the Afterlife, that's how I got my information. 33 souls came through from heaven. My mother, Dorothy, was one of them. And she said, she started out, you're going to write a book on heaven. And the souls that came through were varied. I have a meditation sun porch, and I believe in prayer and meditation. And I'd look at an empty chair and I'd see a spirit. So it ran the gamut from celebrities to my clients, to some of my friends over the years who had passed, to even family members who had passed. And it's called Living in the Afterlife. And that's a whole other show. But it's what they told me was very significant about making transition from here to the next realm, and how they went through a connecting portal, how they were met by loved ones, how they had a family reunion in heaven, and how we work in soul groups in heaven. So it's fascinating. But that was all done through spontaneous or automatic writing. If you want to try it, please white light and protect yourself. There are earthbound discarnate spirits. There's nothing wrong with paranormal societies. I mean, EVPs, the white noise. They want to prove the existence of spirits, but these are earthbound spirits. And these are spirits that roam around. Either they don't know their past, they don't see the light, they don't want to go to the light. Some of them are addicts or alcoholics, and they hover around bars, whatever. But that's okay. Somebody may have built a home 300 years ago. They're curious. They want to see who's moving in and out of it and what's going on in it. So my work is not about the paranormal. I don't do investigations. I've been on some of them, but I always end up telling the souls to go to the light. The souls hanging around. It's like, what are you doing here? We have Gettysburg close by, the battlefield, and people see spirits, walking around the battlefield. The soldiers. I was on a investigation one time. I said, get to the light. You don't belong down here. So I wouldn't make a good, very, very good paranormal investigator. But anyhow, what spiritual mediums deal with is hopefully the love and the light. Evidential mediums, and please, here's a warning for you. Do not dabble in Ouija boards. I'm telling you, because earthbound discarnate spirits can attach on the Ouija board and give you information that is not for your highest good. Believe me. Burn them, throw them out, and get rid of them. You're opening yourself up to a whole realm. Even if you protect, you're still dealing with the earthbound spirits. So they're out. Evidential mediums describe specific details about a loved one's life, their health, their memories, even what's in the drawers. So sometimes when I'm doing a reading, I wear an eye mask, and the person could be throughout the country over the phone. And sometimes spirits will take me through their home, and I'll see hallways and mirrors and the flooring and everything. So the spirit, whether it's their grandfather, their husband, their mother, are giving me details about the person's living conditions. So in a way, that's called evidential. It is giving details about, not psychically, but from the spirit world as a medium, what the person has around them or what they're dealing with. So those are the different ways that mediums communicate. And if you do any type of spiritual work, please protect and pray and white light. So I guess we're ready for we're going to take just a little 30-second commercial. I'm going to come back. I'll be taking your calls. I hope you're in the queue waiting.
Here we go.
If you enjoy the Michele Livingston Show and want to see her in person, check out her next live seminar.
So here we go. If you can work with me, close your eyes. We're going to take 8 deep breaths, and we're going to start.
Have you recently lost a loved one?
Who lost a husband recently? I had to take a deep breath with him. I feel it was fairly quick.
Could you be the next one to get a reading?
I think I'm with you, sweetie. There's a name like Bree. They're showing me cheese. That's her daughter. That's the new one. They showed me Bree cheese and her daughter's name Bree. See how this works?
This seminar will provide an experience that will truly enhance your understanding of the other dimensions.
When we get over there, we train to help 1 or 2 people that are on the earth plane, and we train to be their guides or their helpers.
And confirm that you
There's a dad figure coming through here.
are never alone.
Did you enjoy it? Oh, thank you so much.
All right, we're back with Michele Livingston.
We're back, and I want to say this next seminar in Lebanon, Pennsylvania is almost full. It's a buffet dinner, which is delicious. I'm going to do some readings. My co-host Jen Shade is wonderful from 105.7 The X. It's a morning drive time show. She's going to help me host it. And it's a lot of fun, a lot of questions asked, do a book signing. So I think you'll really enjoy it. There's a few spots left. You can register on my website, excuse me. Or you can call. My number's on my website, which is now on the screen. So I hope I see you there. I really do. We have a good time. So Tony, are we ready to take some calls, or do we have anybody in chat? Or
Well, I know we have plenty of people in the phone lines. They've been waiting, and I'll look at some chats in between calls. So if you have anything you want to leave in the chat room, please let us know. But otherwise, we're going to take some calls. So make sure when you right to the point, meaning be specific on your questions to Michele, and make sure you turn any background noises off so we don't hear any screeches or Michele in the background. So otherwise, are you ready?
Yeah, and I also want to tell people we're on a delay, and I tend to talk very quickly when I get loved ones through. So bear with me. I'll try to talk slower, but bear with me because of the delay. So go ahead, Sir Tony.
All right. I think this is Lauren from 818 number. So here we go.
Okay.
Hi, Michele. Hi, Michele. So nice to talk to you.
Hello, dear Lauren. Where are you calling from, Lauren?
I'm from California, Los Angeles.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to call, dear.
Oh, I'm so excited. I would love to hear from my father. He is, I feel like he is around me all the time, and I just like to know if he has some messages for me.
Thank you, my darling. Hold on a second. Your daddy. Okay. Right away when you said dad, you know what I saw? Coins, Lauren. I saw coins, pennies and dimes. Yes. And that's one of the ways they communicate, Lauren. They can manifest, seriously. We talked about that in the last show, pennies from heaven. And I had your dad through. He holds up a couple fingers, Lauren. Do you have siblings? Can I ask you, please?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how many are on?
Go ahead.
How many are? Go ahead.
One has passed over, and one is still here.
Okay, I thought so. That's the next question. Okay, he extends love, your dad, to the two on earth. He has your sibling with him, my darling. He's going to open the door for your sibling to come in, and I feel such a surprise and joy with this. I have to say, I feel that your sibling went fairly quickly, but I also want to say that Dad is a proud man. He was intelligent, and he looks great. He really does. He has a work shirt on, which I find funny, but he doesn't want to look scruffy, your dad. He wants to appear very neat, Lauren, and he's acknowledging the baby girl. Which of you is the baby girl, honey? Are you with me? Lauren? Did I lose her, Tony?
I think she did hang up.
Oh.
Maybe. Do you want to keep going and maybe she's listening?
Okay, Lauren, I'm so sorry we got cut off. Sometimes that happens here with all that's going on. Your daddy acknowledges baby girl, and I want you to watch for finding pennies and dimes. Seriously, there's many ways they communicate. A penny means your number one's your daddy, and so does a dime in numerology. It goes back to number one. So I do have to say he looks well. Very good looking man, younger. He wants to appear younger. And so I hope that helps you, darling. And there are balloons here, and I need to move on, which means a birthday just was or is coming up. So we're towards the end of February? It was a birthday this month, just was, or is coming up, Lauren. Bless you in California. Maybe we can get you back on, Lauren.
Sorry,
Have a
Lauren.
good evening or good afternoon, darling.
All right, well, let's move on to Catherine from 503. So let's go ahead and take Catherine. Catherine, you there?
Turn your volume down, Catherine.
I was going to say I can hear her or hear the music. Yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Catherine, you there? All right, we're going to go ahead and put her back in queue. So, Catherine, if you're listening, just make sure when you hear the beep, you know you're alive on there with Michele. So let's go to
she'll know she's alive, hopefully.
Right. So we have a 717. I think this is Linda. So let's try Linda. Linda, you there?
My name's Melinda.
Oh, Melinda. Well, there you go.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Melinda, hello, darling.
Hi.
Do you know something? I was supposed to have been named Melinda.
Oh, okay.
That's my grandmother's name. So bless you, darling.
Okay.
Mhm. Where are you calling from, Melinda?
I'm calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, right in my own backyard, my dear. Good,
Yes.
good, Melinda. Okay, what's your question, honey?
I just want to know if my mom, my grandma, my grandfather have any messages for me. My mom had just suddenly passed away about a month ago, and I just want to know if they have any messages for me.
Okay, cancer symbols coming up, Melinda. Somebody had cancer in your family, and sometimes I can't pull them through, but I do have a symbol coming up. So who may have had cancer, darling?
Well, my gram had cirrhosis of the liver, and then my pap, I believe he died of like kidney cancer.
I think, okay. So I'm going to go more with your grandfather first, all right? Don't laugh,
Okay.
He's picking at his teeth. So your grandpa may have had dentures or partials, Melinda. He's funny. He's picking at his teeth, and he wants you to go to the dentist, Melinda, okay?
Okay, I do go.
Yeah, I know you should. I think you're putting it off, he tells me. He's with your grandmom, and they do a lot in heaven together. There's a lot of love here. I do have to say they pull their energy down. One's on your right and one's on your left. I have grandpa and grandma, okay? The cancer I felt was starting to travel, and I feel it goes more to your grandfather when it was traveling through the body. I really do. Your grandmother loved to cook, that's for sure. She shows me all kinds of food. Mm-hmm. We were talking about food earlier, darling. And grandmom's mentioning the holidays, Melinda. Are you still with me? You still with me?
Yep, I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah. They want you to slow down, and sometimes this information comes through. You're very empathic. I don't know if you know this, darling. You're empathic, which means you're very sensitive to energy around you. Yeah. And you have a lot on your plate. And many times you feel overwhelmed. You get yourself overwhelmed, Melinda. So take it slow, calm down. Somebody lost a child through miscarriage, termination, or some other means. They have a soul with them, your grandmother and grandfather, and somebody lost a child in family. All right?
Okay, that could have been me.
Did you lose one, darling?
I did. My first one was a miscarriage.
Okay. It was a little girl. I have to tell you this, sweetie. And the timing wasn't quite right for this one to come to full term. Your grandparents have your daughter with them, the one that you miscarried. I have your mother through. She looks gorgeous. Your mother looks beautiful. She likes my pink. Your mother likes my pink. I don't know if you're watching, but I have pink on. And she's surrounded with the most beautiful rose pink light, your mother. And I feel a difficulty on the chest region or getting a breath with her at the very end. And she wants to stroke your lower arm, Melinda. And she says, don't worry about the end. And I think what she's talking about is when she made transition to heaven. Were you with her, Melinda, at the end?
I wasn't, but I did come to see her before they took her.
Right.
So I wasn't, because it was very sudden that she passed.
I thought so. I know. And I feel some pressure in my heart and respiratory with her as well, your mother. She's free from pain, but there was a pressure, and then her soul was up and out. Please, sometimes people have a little bit of guilt, honey, with not being there at the end. She wants you, if you have any, to release it, because your mother looks lovely. And the grandparents that are mentioned, are those her parents, your mother's parents?
They are her parents, yeah.
Because she wants to stand right in the middle of them. She wants to stand between grandpa and grandma. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to say, it hasn't been long that she's been passed. It really hasn't been.
No, it hasn't.
I have to move on, but I want you to watch your cell phone ringing. Your mother wants to call you or chat with you. So if your cell phone rings and it's out of the area or no caller, it's your mother. She wants to ring you, honey.
Okay.
That's fantastic. So dry your tears. You've done well with your life, but you need to calm down and slow down. And your mother strokes your cheek. She is beautiful. There's a picture of you and her when you were little. And she wants you to get it out, put it on the dresser. She says, remember me as I was years ago and not as I grew older, because she has lovely memories of you, sweetheart, and the family. Wonderful memories. Also watch for a porch. There's a porch connection here. I don't know if it's a front porch or a back porch, but they're talking about a porch. Do you have one, Melinda, or did they have one?
I do have a front porch. She had a front porch too, but I mean,
your mother had a porch, front porch?
She did. Okay. And so I do too.
Okay. She would like to wave goodbye or greet people on the front porch. And do you know she comes up the steps and she goes on your front porch and she goes through your front door. That's how she comes to say hello, right through the front door. So if you're an empath, watch the energy in your entranceway, would you please? Because she's talking about the front porch. Okay, my darling?
All right.
God bless you, honey. I know loss is terrible, but keep your chin up. I'm so glad you got through, Melinda.
Okay, thank you. God bless you too.
Take care, sweetie. Good night. Oh, someone in my own backyard. I love it.
All right. Well, we have plenty of more of people wanting to reach their loved ones and questions. So let's go ahead and take another one from 267. I believe his name is Joe, but let's try it out. Is your name Joe?
Hi, this is Jill.
Jill. Okay.
Hi, this is Jill.
I'm going to just stop announcing the names. I'm terrible at it.
It's Jill. Is that correct?
Hi, Michelle. Yes, Jill.
Hello, darling. What's your question tonight, Jill?
I've been out on disability because I had surgery on my right foot, and I've been applying to everything and everywhere. And I like to know, I've been feeling pulled to move to Tennessee, and I want to know if I should keep pursuing Tennessee or somewhere else. And I don't even know what for, but job-wise. But I don't want to go back to the position I'm at now.
Okay. You're sensitive, you're intuitive, Jill. Go by your heart. Let your heart lead. And if there have been pulls to Tennessee, that's where you belong. My husband's relatives are from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, by the way. And I do have to say the energy, pardon?
I said, okay.
The energy is good for you down there. You're more of a nature person. You don't like to be in a cubicle, Jill, or have anybody breathing down your neck. Is that true? You're a free spirit. Is that true?
Yes, that's correct.
So Tennessee has some beautiful Smoky Mountains, wide open spaces. I really don't see you, in Nashville or anything like that, but I see you in a beautiful wooded area where I think you would thrive. You're very creative too, my dear. I have to ask if your maternal grandmother's passed, Miss Jill.
Yes.
Maternal.
Yeah.
She's through. She comes through for you, darling. Maternal grandma. Oh, I do like her. And she says, follow your heart. She is reconfirming that. Try never to do anything too impulsive, your grandmother's telling me to tell you. Take your time, step by step, make your plans, and then make your move. All right. Because with you, if you do anything too impulsively, there may be a few regrets, Jill. You're very good at what you do. You're very good at what you do. You have a good resume. And so I'm going to say bye-bye. And when I say that, I think you'll be going down to Tennessee, my darling. 18 months.
Do you see that soon, or you see that far away?
I see it about 18 months because it's not good for you to make a very quick move. You need to get all your ducks in a row first. All right, Jill?
Okay.
All your ducks in a row. Just know Grandma loves you, and thank you so much for calling in, honey. Take care.
All right, thank
Mwah.
you. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Oh.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's keep moving on. There's people excited tonight. So let's go. Let's do another 717. I'm not going to try the name. So, hi, you're live on with Michele Livingston. Who's this?
It's Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
Hi, how are you? Oh my God, I got through.
I am fantastic, Terry. Bless you.
I am. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Oh, God bless you, honey. What's your question, darling?
How is my mom? Like, I think about her all the time. Like, who's she with? How is she? Is she with me?
Yes.
I'm just.
All right, let me just ask you something. Your maternal grandmother's passed? Your mother's mother?
Yes, I've never met her.
You don't have to know them. They definitely see and know you. I have both of them through. I have your mother and your maternal grandmother. They're arm in arm to stay longer, Terry. Your mother is a friend of yours as well as a mother.
Oh, yes. She's my best friend.
That's right. Because she says, I want Terry to know there's not a day that goes by that I don't visit my friend, meaning you. She's going to try to formulate a scent in the air for you or a smell for you. And I do have to say your mother was an amazing woman when she was on earth. She was hardworking, Terry. She was a hardworking person. Yeah. And she loves you unconditionally. This is something that you need to hear, Terry. You know, love comes in many forms, but because she's a friend and a best friend, you can do no wrong in your mother's eyes. Absolutely no wrong. She tells me you get hard on yourself sometimes. You know, you get a little, you browbeat yourself. Is that true, Terry?
Yes.
And your mother says, knock it off. That's how she goes. She says, Terry, knock it off. She says, you have a heart of gold, my daughter.
Yeah.
And she says, you've done a lot for other people. I don't know who you are, but you must like animals too. I don't know. Because your mother says it just doesn't begin and end with people. You love with a big heart. There's a compassion about you, my dear. Your mother is with you every day. She comes and goes. She's not joined at the hip. All right. There's a chair that's kind of like a recliner or a rocking chair. Now, do you have that recliner or did your mother, Terry?
There was a recliner, a red one in her bedroom.
Okay. So that's a memory coming up. She'd love to sit in that chair. Loved it. And there's gonna be some good changes for you. You do get yourself a little depressed, don't you, sweetheart?
A lot depressed.
Yeah.
I just lost my father as well.
Okay.
So
I'm so sorry for your loss. I need to tell you something. You had seasonal affective disorder. I am not a medical intuitive, but your depression's worse from November through March, darling. And sorry for the loss of your dad. He's a whole different personality, darling, from your mother. Oh, he had a stubborn. Your dad had a stubborn streak.
Oh yes. Oh yes, he's very stubborn.
I'm sorry. I do
That's
have
okay.
him. I do have him through to say. I have him through to say hello. And your mother stands on one side. Your dad stands on the other side. They've made peace. You need to hear this. And they've met.
That's how they were.
Yep. But they've made peace in heaven, darling. And one of them had a harder respiratory. One of them had either high blood pressure or harder respiratory. One of them. I think that.
My mother had high blood pressure.
Okay. Because that's how they're making me feel. They make me feel different ways. Your dad, I need to tell you, had some problems. He tried to be open, communicative, and give you emotional support, but sometimes it was a push for him, Terry. Sometimes, so he wanted to do what was right, and sometimes when they bring the white peace flag in, it means all is forgiven, all is well. Your mother leans down and kisses you on your cheek. I need to tell you. Your daddy says, "I've made it, and I'm in a good place, Tare."
Tare. Is that what he said? Tare.
Yeah.
That's what he called me. That's what he called me.
I know, sweetheart, because he's speaking through me. He's speaking through me. That's what I do. So he says, "Tare, I want to tell you something." He says, "Your mother's right. You have a heart of gold. Take one step at a time. Good things are coming up for you, Terry. Try not to get yourself too far down, honey, because there's so much to be thankful for here. There's so much to be thankful for." So I'm going to let somebody else come through. I'm so glad you got through. God bless.
Me too. Thank you so much. You too, honey. Thank you.
Mwah.
That's great. Another good one.
People seem to get surprised that they're speaking through me.
They're like, how's that happening?
It's just right.
All right. Well, let's see. We have a 406. So 406, you're now live on air with Michele Livingston. Go ahead.
Hello?
406, you there?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
You're live on air.
Mm-hmm. What's your name, dear?
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Robin?
Okay. What's her name?
I think so.
Is your name Robin,
Can you hear
say?
me? Yes.
Robin.
Yes.
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Thank you for taking the time to call, my darling. What's your question?
You're welcome.
What's your question, Robin?
My question is, I have been struggling since 2016 when my dad passed away, because we were very extremely close. If he is trying to reach me, and also I lost my dog just this last December, if he is with him.
Oh, I'm so sorry you lost your dad. And your fur baby. Your fur baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have your dad coming through, and I don't know if you're watching me, but he crosses his fingers, Robin. And he says, "We were tight," is what he tells me. So I have to say your dad honors you, Robin. And I have to say he's very close to you. And I get a feeling that it hasn't been easy for you as well emotionally, but Dad wants to be a hero figure for you. Now, there's a salute coming. Are you with me? There's a salute coming in, which means somebody may have served in the military, or it's a July connection. So, Robin, I want you to think for me. Was anybody in World War II, Korean War, or is there a July connection?
I'm not really sure unless it was his brother that he served in the Korean War. His brother Eugene did.
So that would be your uncle. Your uncle, Robin.
Yes.
So I have dad through and I have his brother, your uncle. And that's where the salute comes in, darling. You get 2 for 1 now. And I have this dog that is panting and its tail's doing this for me. Very excited. I have to say your dad couldn't, or the uncle couldn't let this go by without bringing your sweet, sweet baby through. Your sweet, sweet baby. Did you have your dog cremated, Robin?
Yes.
Where are the ashes, can I ask you?
They're on top of my curio cabinet in my living room.
Well, I hope you have the dog's picture next to them. Because that's what that's the request here. A framed picture next to the ashes. And your dad said, I could have brought my daughter Robin anything, but I wanted to bring her baby. I love that. Now, I'm more of a cat person, I have to admit, so I'm not sure of the breed, but this was a very intelligent animal. And it wants to sit right next to you, darling, on your right side, your doggy, your canine, wants to sit right next to you. Your dad is also with a lady, and it's your paternal grandmother, Robin.
Okay.
I tell people you don't have to know them or like them, jokingly. They see and know you. She is taking care of her boys, which makes sense, which is the military connection, Korean War, your uncle, and your dad. And your dad has your dog, sweetheart. So God bless you, Miss Robin.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. And where are you from, Robin? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Great Falls, Montana, where it's really cold here and snowing a lot.
Well, stay warm. In fact, this is funny. Your paternal grandmother has like a throw or a cover or a blanket. She wants to wrap it around you, honey. So stay warm.
Thank you. I love you, Grandma. I love you, Dad. Love you, Milo.
Have a wonderful evening, darling. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Michelle. You too.
All right. Well, you want to do one more?
Yeah, I think we have time for one more. I wish I could do get everybody through, but
I know. Well, if the people that don't get through, Michelle will be back in 2 weeks from tonight. So what date is that?
And that is Wednesday. Here we go. March 13th.
March 13th.
Wednesday, March 13th.
There you go. So mark your calendars for the people that don't get through. But for this next person, you're going to get through. So let's do a 954. So here we go. You are live on the air with Michele Livingston.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello, darling. What's your name?
My name is Penny.
Oh, I like that name. Penny.
Thank you.
Penny's from heaven.
Yes.
What's your question, Penny?
I want my daughter passed away 2 years ago, February 23rd, just recently, and I wanted to know if she's sending our family or me any signs that she's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that loss, Penny. She wasn't very old, was she, your daughter?
No. She was 9 years old.
Pardon?
She was 9 years old.
I'm so sorry, because I felt young. I felt very young. And in fact, when she does come through, she looks younger than 9 to me. She says, Mom, I love you. I'm sorry I had to go. I need to tell you this, precious, because there's nothing like the loss of a child. My heart goes out to you right now. I need to say that.
Thank you.
Before we incarnate, Penny, before we're born, with God's will, we soul contract a timeline to come into Earth, to learn soul lessons, and a timeline to go. And I know it's hard for us to think about it in that spiritual sense, but your daughter's timeline was up. And I need to tell you, if the timeline that she soul contracted is not up, angels can intervene. But I also see angels. Did you do any memorial thing with angels, or do you have any angels in your home, Penny?
I have one angel that me and my mom have, and it lights up.
Yeah. Your daughter's acknowledging that angel, sweetheart. Your daughter's like an angel in heaven. She's beautiful, beautiful. And I know that I know she struggled. I feel she struggled. But she's free from all of that now. And you need to hear this, honey. You were a very good mother. And it's nothing that you did or your mother did, which would be her grandmother. She soul contracted a timeline and was called to heaven, okay? Yes. Her room, she's talking about her room. Did you have a nightlight? Do you have a nightlight anywhere, darling? Or did you have a nightlight in the hallway or in her room, Penny?
No.
There's a light that flickers. There's going to be a light that flickers. Now, I don't know if it's this little angel that we're talking about that lights up.
No, actually, my bathroom light flickers all the time.
That's your daughter, darling. That's your daughter. I'm glad you were able to confirm that. She's just saying hello. Hello. One of the easiest things they do is work electrical lights and so on. So when you're in there, it's a neutral area and it's fairly calm. And that's why the light flickers there, Penny. And she kisses you. And I do have to say she was a precious, precious child. Absolutely precious. So do you understand the concept that we're on a timeline, okay? Do you have any other children, Penny?
I have 2 other children, a 13-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Yeah, because she extends love to the other ones. I do have to say that.
That's awesome.
And the 6-year-old saw her. How long's your daughter been passed?
2 years.
Okay. So when your other 6-year-old was around 4, she saw your daughter, darling. She saw your daughter. Children can see spirits. I do have to say. So God bless you. Thank you so much for calling in, Penny. You're in my prayers, darling. You really are.
Thank you, Michelle.
Mm-hmm. Take care of yourself, Penny.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I do have to tell everyone just very quickly, because I know we're running out of time. The soul chooses parents to learn and grow with. At any point of development, when the soul maybe changes its mind, it could be a miscarriage. We can say no by termination, or we're on a timeline. So whether we pass at age 2 or 92, we're on a timeline. And I believe the soul comes back again. So I think Penny's definitely going to see her little girl once more. In fact, I know it. So thank you all for watching today. God bless all of you. I'll be back March 13th. Tony, I want to thank you for co-hosting with me.
Of course, it's a pleasure, always.
Taking the calls. So I want to say, everyone, have a fantastic week. God bless all of you. I'll see you on the 13th of March. And good night.
If you enjoy the Michele Livingston Show and want to see her in person, check out her next live seminar.
So here we go. If you can work with me, close your eyes. We're going to take 8 deep breaths, and we're going to start.
Have you recently lost a loved one?
Who lost a husband recently? I have to take a deep breath with him. I feel it was fairly quick.
Could you be the next one to get a reading?
I think I'm with you, sweetie. There's a name like Bree. They're showing me cheese. That's her daughter. That's the new one. They showed me Bree cheese and her daughter's name Bree. See how this works?
This seminar will provide an experience that will truly enhance your understanding of the other dimensions.
When we get over there, we train to help 1 or 2 people that are on the earth plane, and we train to be their guides or their helpers.
And confirm that you
There's a dad figure coming through here.
are never alone.
Did you enjoy